Have your children and students ever felt like they felt out of place? Do they want to be able to find people who look just like them so that they can feel powerful in their place in the world? Join me today as we celebrate diversity and be able to find some amazing stories that we can include in our classrooms and homes for this amazing purpose. Welcome back to our Preschool All-Stars podcast. I'm your host, Joy Anderson, and with me today is my good friend, Dr. Casandra Henriquez. She is a TEDx speaker. She's helped thousands of women for the past 11 years as a love coach, and she is the creator of Zara and Ziggy. So welcome to our podcast.
Woo! So happy to be here, Joy. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. And honestly, I'm also excited for you matching my energy. So that's awesome.
Hey, I think it's your background that's got
right? I love this. Now, our story was really interesting. I think I met you in the summertime when we were trying to find a preschool teacher for your daughter. And
Yes.
I looped you into one of my most amazing preschool teachers, Kristen Smith, over at La Casa Bilingual Preschool Online.
Hola.
And you got her in. Now, it was a couple other friends too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I told everybody about her. So pretty much my daughter left her school and two of her best friends left their school. And so they were all at home. And so it's kind of cool that every day she's still able to see her two best friends in class, even though we're not really doing that much in person. Yeah.
That's amazing, especially to have buddies going to preschool together virtually, which is so fun. Now, here's the thing though, right after that, then I realized this isn't just a preschool connection. I mean, you're creator of Zara and Ziggy, which we need to find out about. Could you share with our listeners what happened? What is this story about? And also, where did this come about? It's a beautiful story, tender to your heart, a mom on a mission. So could you go back and tell us where this all came from?
Sure. So my daughter, Ava, her birthday was coming up. Her third birthday was coming up. And she said, Mommy, I want a princess party. I said, sure. And this is the first in-school party I was doing. So I said, okay, it has to be good. But then I was like, okay, I should get a princess that looks like her, right? So, okay, let me go find one. I couldn't find anything, Joy. Like, how crazy is that? And that was in 2019. I said, wait a second, it's 2019. Why is it that I can't find a Black princess on something? And so for me, I just started to pay attention. When we went to the doctor, they would always hand her a sticker and say, baby girl, you did so good today. Here's my favorite princess. And that princess never looked like her. And then when we went into the department store, I'd be looking for pajamas, right? With her favorite character, her favorite character is Elsa, but you know what I mean. A character that looks like her, and I couldn't find one. And I'm just like, wait a second, what's going on? So that's when I started looking for a character for her, and I couldn't find one. So I created it. And so many people say, well, what about Princess Tiana? Tiana's an older teenager, and she was a frog for the majority of the movie, right? So let's talk about it. So when I first showed my daughter, Princess Zara, she said, Mommy, I don't want this one. I want the other one. I want the white one. I started crying. And Joy, I was actually out to lunch with my white girlfriend and she started crying. I said, I didn't know it was this deep, right? Mm-hmm. And I realized, back in the day with that test of the black doll versus the white doll and all the kids chose the white doll as better, prettier, and smarter. I really don't think it's because their mamas sat down with them and told them that foolishness. I really think it's because they didn't see it. And it wasn't mainstream and it wasn't cool. So I am literally on a mission to make this little princess cool. I'm creating representation for our children to be able to see themselves as royalty and for all children to get excited about a little Black princess.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And making it mainstream. I think that's exactly what you said. For the majority of us, we are not teaching our children anything other than every life is just so beautiful. But truly, when we come back down to it, we need to see these characters everywhere. We need to see them in our books. We need to see them in our movies. We need to see them in our classrooms, in our homes, so that we can know, hey, let's all talk about this and let's make sure that we feel confident in our place in the world. So when you started developing this, was she excited alongside with you?
Oh, yes. Okay. So like I have Instagram stories and pictures for days. So she was my editor, right? Well, one of my editors. I had professional editors, but I had to read the story to her first, right? And I had to get her okay. And that is the scariest thing to try and please a 3-year-old, okay? Like that was super duper scary. So one thing I love is that for a solid couple months, all she wanted to read was Princess Zara's birthday tradition, right? When I asked her what birthday party she wanted to have, she wanted a Princess Zara birthday party. So for
Yes.
me, it's like I arrived, even though she's my baby girl, there's no guarantee with a 3-year-old turned 4-year-old now that would love it.
Well, and I love that you had your person right there to, help test everything out. And then, as you said, at the very beginning, she wasn't necessarily like jumping right on board with this. And so I think helping this whole process and having it tested in your home has just created this beautiful thing. Now, you've been able to share Princess Zara with the world. Tell us some of the places you've been able to share her story.
Oh my goodness. So from Jamaica to Australia to Colombia to New York. We've been in the Washington Post. We've been on NBC. Like this has been amazing. We hit #1 on Amazon, even though I'd rather you go to my website. But
Yes.
we hit #1 on Amazon, which was so amazing. So yes, it has gone far and wide. And individuals of all races have bought this book because it's also just a good story. And what so many are realizing is that there's not enough diversity on their shelves. Like if you look on my daughter's bookshelf, we don't just have all Black books, right? It's like we have characters of all races, boys and girls. Because some people say, "Oh, well, it's a princess book. I have a son." It's still a good story, and I have stories that feature a boy as the main character in my home. So really mixing it up, and we even created a workbook because I started to realize that even our worksheets aren't very diverse, right? When we go to print out worksheets, it's usually one hue of individual or one look to the individual. So now we have a coloring and counting workbook that also hit #1 on Amazon that's doing very well as well. Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing to be able to create all this diversity and show everyone like we're all here and we need to all be represented as well. And so we need to have these books in the classrooms. We need to have these books in the homes. This is so exciting. Now, have you been able to get out your book into preschool classrooms as well? I know you have your coloring and workbook. Back when we were talking back in the summertime, you had this thing. It was for preschools. Were you able to get that into the preschool classrooms?
So I did end up gifting some preschool classrooms, and I did have a couple people sponsor a preschool classroom. I'm still working on it. I got approved in my local county to be like an official book that teachers can buy for their students. But because of the pandemic and everything, it's just a little bananas. So I am definitely still encouraging preschool educators. Like our preschool, Kristen, she did read the book to the students and then sent out the link and some of the worksheets to share with her parents to buy the book for their kids who love the book. So we're still working on what that looks like. But yes, definitely preschools is the perfect place, to bring a Black princess for all of our children to be able to see. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I really think like when we go into stores, everywhere we need to see like having our children feel represented there, that they can go and say, yes, these are my people and they look just like me, and feel that pride and the power that comes from feeling confident in their place in the world. I love this. So now you've got the birthday party. So with the birthday party, has she had her birthday yet with Princess Zara?
Yes. So, I boohoo cried, right? So we're talking about from age 3 was the request. And for her fourth birthday, she had a Princess Zara birthday party. And it was just surreal to me that, I made that happen in such a short time. But she had the hats, she had the things, the tablecloth, the crown, all the things. And so for me, it was a defining moment to say, when a mom puts her mind to something, she surely does make it happen.
I think every mother listening to this needs to pay attention to this right now. You went out there on a mission trying to find this for your daughter. And when you couldn't find it, you created it. What a beautiful message that is, that we don't have to settle with what we see, right? We can create the good in the world and truly create the world we want our children to live in as much as we possibly can. So I love that you started this movement. Now you have the birthday set. Thankfully, you're able to add that as well as the book. Are you going to go into PJs soon? Are you going to have a set of PJs?
I am working on the PJs, girl. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. We have the wall decal, like all the things. So yes, I am working on the PJs, and I'm actually in pre-sale mode of my next book. So Prince Jabari will be making his debut in Princess Zara and the Royal Festival. And right now it's pre-sale on my website. And I'm just really excited because, there's something beautiful about this. There's something beautiful about the representation and seeing yourself. And then also for kids to be able to see Black characters that are royal. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to kiss anybody. They didn't come from a place of destitution. It's like they were just born royalty. Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that. So not only do we have Princess Tiana, who of course, but she's older. That's great. But we truly need to have our young girls and boys raised up with this as well. I love this. So we've got this other book coming out soon. It's in pre-launch right now. So you definitely want to go grab it. Where can everybody go get this book as well as Princess Zara and everything else?
Everything else, we go to zaraandziggy.com. ZaraandZiggy.com. Zara and Ziggy. And Ziggy is her pup. It's like her sidekick. Yeah.
That's awesome. So go to zaraandziggy.com to immediately go grab your pre-release copy of this beautiful book that's coming out and Princess Zara and all the goodness. So go do that. And thank you again for being on our podcast.
Thank you for having me, Joy. And I just absolutely appreciate you having me here. And Instagram, anybody on Instagram, please do follow us at Zara and Ziggy because we always put out good deals and content there too. Our mission, big mission, is to become a mainstream cartoon. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh my gosh. And I have 100% confidence you will meet that goal because everything that I've seen from you is just gold. So again, you're amazing. Thanks for being on our show. If you love today's episode, then you are going to love this. I want to give you a free gift in your hands. This is a copy of my book, Start Your Preschool, and I want to get it to you for free. Yes, I said for free. It is a 300-page book. It'll help you learn the step-by-step process to actually starting your local or your online preschool. Every single step that I walked myself through, as well as the thousands of women who've created their own successful preschools have gone through the exact steps listed in this book. Not to mention, I also share 20 amazing women's stories. So you can see how not only did it work for me, but it works for amazing women just like you as well. I want to get you this free copy. Just go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and we'll get it to you today. Again, just go to freepreschoolbook.com and we'll get it right to you.